What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect Podcast. For those of you who don't know, my name is Liana, and yeah, you are not seeing things. This is not AI generated. You are not having a psychotic episode. I'm really back. I am finally back, and oh my god, it feels really good. It feels really good. I can't lie. Honestly, I've missed it so much, and I'm so excited to get back in the swing of things. I don't care if I sound like a broken record. This is my shit. I'm going to say what I want. But with this podcast, it is something that it's like a creative outlet for me. So when I don't feel inspired, it's like so painful to continue to do the tedious tasks of recording, editing. And it's not that I don't enjoy it, but if I don't have that inspiration, that spark inside of me, it is so hard to stay consistent. So I just needed a break to live life and take a second to just enjoy life and live in the moment, because the great thing about this podcast is that I use it in a way to get super introspective and dive into what I'm going through in life and share that. And I love that. That's what I want to continue doing with this podcast. However, when I'm constantly doing that every single week, it gets so heavy. I need a break. I just can't. I'm not somebody who can do something the same thing forever. I gotta switch it up. I fall out of inspiration. I get bored with it, and I just am just so against forcing myself to do something that I just am not passionate about. Okay, especially this. This is, no one's holding a gun to my head and you have to make a podcast right now and talk about your inner feelings and how you've grown from it and where it's led you. No one's holding a gun to my head. So I put this pressure on myself to keep pushing and keep grinding, because one, I'm a perfectionist and I'm working on it. Two, we live in a society where it tells you you need to grind and work 50 jobs so you can be considered successful, or whatever the fucking case is. I don't know. I'm just so sick of trying to live up to something that is just not possible. And so I'm just choosing to enjoy myself and live in the moment and do what I want to do in the moment. And and I did that for a long time, or for the last few months. And I'm so grateful for that time, because I needed it. And now I feel inspired to get back on here and start creating again. And I'm just really excited about that, because we'll get into it as the episode unfolds, because I'll kind of do a life update. Well, first, I'd like to start by saying thank you to all the people who listen to this and are just always so supportive. I don't know I'm ever surprised. I say this all the time, but I just have such great people around me that support me. And I'm forever thankful for it, because I am somebody who, I doubt myself at times. I struggle with mental health at times. So just having people that are so supportive of the things that you do around you is just such a treasure. It's something I'm so fortunate for. And I know it's something that I don't take for granted. And I just am really grateful for the people who gave me my time and space to just live my life and not create this podcast, because I do know that people look forward to this. People look forward to the episodes, and that means so much to me, because I know I have my podcast that I listen to in that way. And it's really cool to think that I can be that for somebody else. Zoo is being such a pain right now. 1 second. Yeah, so shout out to the people who have just been, supportive in everything that I do in life. I love that. It means so much to me. And then also the people who kept motivating me to get back on here and record. People ask me, when's another episode coming out? When's it that pressure was what I needed, because I wanted to come on and record. There wasn't honestly many days that had passed during that entire break that I didn't think about this podcast. It's something that I have been really dedicated to, and I really have big dreams for. But I've also changed as a person and have grown in different ways. And the things that I want out of life don't necessarily align always with this podcast or what I had previously wanted for this podcast. So I just really needed to take time to live my life. Coming on here and sharing about how I'm feeling and different struggles that I go through and challenges that I've overcome and the wins and the goals that I'm going towards. Like, having that all documented is such a cool thing to have, but it's also, for me and my like personality, it's very hard for me to know that I have like so much information about myself out there, because I am someone who, like, I want to keep growing as a person and evolving. I don't think I'm ever going to be done growing and evolving. However, like, I do appreciate every version of myself, but I don't agree with everything that I've said in the past. So, like, having a episode of myself out there with me saying things that I don't even agree with now, it's just kind of like, I just get super, I think about it too much. I get anxious around that for some reason, and that's just me being very vulnerable and being honest about why sometimes it's hard for me to feel inspired to record. It has a lot to do with my mindset and my mental health at the time, if I'm being honest. It's scary to be vulnerable and honest with the world, because it's easier just to conceal how you feel about things and pretend to be okay and pretend to be happy and put on a smile and keep pushing through life. And like, I think to an extent it's good to do those things. Zoo's about to claw my scalp off. Oh my God, get off. You can come join the podcast, but you're not going to be doing these jump scares. See, now he's getting feisty and zesty because he wants to go on a walk and I won't take him. You see. Oh my God. The way you really think this is your house. The way you really think you have some type of say, some type of ownership. You don't even pay rent. This crazy. Little life update. Honestly, nothing too crazy. I'm still serving and super grateful for that job. Like, serving has definitely saved me when it comes to, serving has saved me. I think it's something that I'll always want to do. Maybe it's just always something so easy you can pick up and just make really good money. But it did give me the time to just literally live life and like not be so stressed out financially or just emotionally, because I know the work that I'm about to get back into is more emotionally taxing. I want to start to circulate my way back to working in like some type of community field. Working with kids or women is something that I want to start exploring and getting my foot in the door with. So that's, sorry if you can hear the traffic. I have the windows open. It's like so hot in my apartment. I am on a higher floor, so the heat rises and it is a sauna in here. So I have to have the windows open. I'll overheat. I freak out. It's a whole thing. I'm sorry. So if you can hear the traffic in the background, my apologies. Just ignore it. Or don't listen to the rest of this episode. It's up to you. You have free will. So yeah, this whole break and like taking the pressure off of having a career and being successful and having my own business and doing all these things, like, it was really needed. I was doing a lot. I was trying to figure out what was next, and I was putting my foot in a lot of different doors, which is good. I just needed a second to regroup, figure out what I really want to pursue in this next chapter. And it's definitely working with people and helping build skills to live a healthier life in some capacity. I don't exactly know the exact career path I want to go down, but I know the general field right now. And so I'm just continuing to like do research on what I'm interested in and figure out my best game plan to get there. I also have been traveling, and that's been really fun. And I want to continue to travel because I feel like I grow so much every time I take a trip, whether it be with the people that I'm with or just being in a different culture. Like, each city can have such a different feel, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to be able to travel, and I just want to keep doing more of that. There's so many places overseas I want to go to. Like, I love planning a trip. I love researching like the cool places to go to, the nice restaurants to try, the like must-see scenic areas, like researching what that city's known for. I like the trip, like traveling. It's more than just like going on a vacation and sitting on a beach. Like I love that aspect of it, but I like to engulf myself in that culture and like learn like where the cool places are to go and stuff. So I'm really excited to continue doing more of that, especially this winter. I've shared this before, but like definitely in the winter I've learned to appreciate it more, but there's been, it's just hard to be locked in the house and feel like I'm so constrained to being indoors in the winter. I know there's things you can do outside, but I don't enjoy being cold. Like that's not enjoyable to me. I'm not somebody who enjoys going like ice fishing. Like I wish I liked those type of things, but like being cold is uncomfortable, and then I just like think about how uncomfortable and cold I am. And it's just not fun for me. So I've been like definitely looking forward to take more trips in the winter so I can go and get some sun somewhere. I do appreciate winter being like a type of season for me to be like in the house, introspective, figuring out things I want to work on and grow on for this next time around the sun, because my birthday's in the fall. It like works perfectly for me, so hear me out. So my birthday's in the fall, winter comes, and that's like a time for me personally to be in the house. I go outside, I socialize of course during the holidays and like here and there, because I just need to be social. I get very depressed, but I also need my alone time. So in the winter, like gives me that perfect balance of being inside and like working, like trying new creative projects, doing some introspective work, figuring out what my goals are going to be for this next year, and like figuring out a game plan to get there. And I just use the time to be inside. Like Mother Nature has its natural clock, so in its natural rhythm. So I'm just using it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just allowing myself to be more, not isolated, because I do still stay in contact and I need to, but like just less active, less busy, socially busy. It's definitely a more introspective, independent time for me, and I need it, and I love that, because then spring is like a time for me to get into action. Like if you think of, again, Mother Nature, or you think of nature, life is blooming, new things are blossoming, and that's like how I feel. Like I took the time in the winter to figure out what I want to do. Now it's time to put it into action in the spring, and then summer you're just like fueling the fire. You have all this energy because we're outside. Life is coming back. People are in good moods because the sun is out. It's warm. We can be outside. We're not stuck in our houses. So it's just like I've learned to appreciate winter because of that. That's enough of me rambling about seasons and seasonal depression. But anyways, life lesson is that like I've been figuring my schnitt out, figuring out what is next for Miss Liana Monique Hauser. I'm not going to get like super deep into my thoughts and my opinions on this. I did want to share that if anyone like myself is very disappointed and feels disheartened from recent elections, that I am a safe place where you can talk if you want to. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I am the most well-educated person on politics, but I can't help but feel like this specific election, it was a no-brainer. And of course, that's based on my own morals, life experiences, and my perspective of the world. But I feel like this really was a no-brainer. And I don't think this election is over. I don't think what we are seeing and the results we are seeing are going to be the final results. I have a gut feeling. My intuition's telling me something is up. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But something feels off. And I know I'm not alone in that feeling. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And at the end of the day, if I'm wrong, then there is a lot more people in this country that are selfish and fueled by hate, or fueled by personal gain over just human decency. And I'm really disappointed by it. And I don't care about sharing my opinion on this. I think, again, this election was a no-brainer. If you look at it, if the people were removed from the facts of their like statistics of their background and their qualifications to even be on the ballot, I don't feel like this race would have turned out the way it did. And it's just disappointing. I don't know what else to say. But again, I don't feel like it's over. I feel like there was something sinister going on with the election and the voting. And there's just so many things I've been seeing and hearing about people tampering and bomb threats and votes not being counted. So I don't know what's true, but anyways, it's a very heavy thing that I've been dealing with. So if anyone else is feeling that, like, definitely feel free to reach out. I don't want you to feel like you're alone. Like, this is not the end. Obviously, politics, like, for me, I struggle when people are like, I don't get into politics, or it's like, both politics are evil, both parties are bad, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I agree. I do agree that if you are at that height of level in politics, you have to have some level of something, like, it's just like power hungry. Obviously, you think it's just something about getting to that height in your career in politics, or just even getting into politics. You have some sort of power that you want. Like, you strive to have power and control. And I personally, like, I would never want to get into politics. I wish the best for people, and I feel like I would be very fair, and I would be good if I'd be honest and fair if I was a politician. But I don't want to have to talk to people like that. I don't want to have to, like, manipulate and do all that shit that politicians have to do. Like, that it takes a specific type of person to be a politician is what basically I'm saying. And I think they all lie at some point. They have to. It's part of the politician situation. So I'm not idolizing anyone, but I want to, like, I just feel like this, at the end of the day, this was a very no-brainer type of election, and I'm seeing so many other countries like, what the hell, like, y'all, what is going on in America? And I agree, what the fuck is going on in America? But what I do know is I am going to just use this as fuel and as fire to get more involved in my community and help at a local scale, because that's all I can control. I can't, no matter who you vote for, no matter what they say they're going to do, we have no control over it. Our voice only goes so far. I do realize that, but I do think there is a lot of benefit in using your voice and caring about politics, because laws can get put in place that do affect our daily lives, and that's why you should care, because who you vote for can help influence how your life is lived in America. So I understand people being fed up with being lied to time and time again. I get it. I have lost trust in the government. I think most people can say that. But I do think that being educated is very important, and I know I can keep educating myself more and reading more and learning more and, like, making myself aware, but, like, everyone has to do that. If you feel like this election results was scary, I'm sorry. I'm there for you. Let me know if you need anything or anyone to talk to. If you feel like politics are not a big deal, and you don't have to get involved, or you don't have to care about it, or your voice doesn't matter, I understand why you feel that way as well. Like, I don't want to make you feel ashamed for that, because I get it. I understand why people have lost faith in the government, in its systems, and politicians, because I'm right there with you at the same time. Like, I'm not hating on that at all. But if you either voted for somebody else, or you just don't care about politics, you think that they do not affect you, that is a privilege, because there are people who have seen this result and feel terrified for their life. And that is what breaks my heart, is I felt like I was voting not only for myself, but for other people as well. And I think a lot of people voted for themselves. And I think that it's just a scary thing, and it's a privilege to just vote for yourself and not be afraid that your rights could be taken away. And that's how I feel. I will always feel that way. I will always vote on the side of the greater good of people. And it just, goes to show that in this country, a lot of people just rather care for themselves and think about themselves, and they don't care who they elect to get that for them. And all I can do is control my own character and how I behave and how I act and where my morals fall. We got to move forward and do what I can do, you know? This was a good enough episode. I got a lot of my thoughts out. I've been rambling for 30 minutes. Like, who can say they just talk to themselves for 30 minutes and no, there's not a story time. You're just fucking rambling thoughts. That's me. I can do that. So yeah, I've been rambling for long enough. I am happy to be back. I'm excited to continue making more episodes and having more conversations. I have some like really cool people in mind that I want to bring on and pick their brains. So I'm excited for that. And I do have some episodes that I've already recorded with Paige, and I want to say, Paige, thank you for being so patient with me, also in coming on and sharing your story. I apologize. It was very unprofessional of me, and I will own it that I have not put that episode out yet. I have to wrap this up, and then to Jawan, Shakira, and Blase, I'm sorry that I didn't post part 2. I will get more into why I have not shared that in other episodes, but thank you so much, everyone, for watching. For listening or watching. I love you guys forever for all the support and more episodes to come. Have a great day. Bye.